When the HOA tore down the small bridge I built to reach my cabin, claiming it violated community standards, I didn't argue. I bought the old dam upstream, the one feeding their fancy lakeside homes. One phone call later, the gates opened, and their $5 million waterfront dreams turned into mud. It started with a bridge. Not a fancy one, just a 30-foot wooden span over a creek that cut my land in half. I built it myself, with pressure-treated beams, rebar anchors, and sweat from 2 weeks of sunrise work. The bridge connected my cabin to the rest of my property, a small paradise on the edge of Lake Halford Estates, a wealthy gated HOA community that had sprouted like weeds 5 years ago. When I bought my ranch, the lake didn't even exist. It was a dammed stream, part of an old hydro project. Then the developers came, built mansions around it, and formed an HOA that thought they ruled everything the water touched. My land wasn't part of their development. My title was older, free, and very clear. But that didn't stop the HOA president, Cheryl Moore, from trying to rope me in. She'd knock on my door once a month with her clipboard and that tight smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Mr. Keaton," she'd start, "we really need you to consider joining the HOA. You use the same roads, the same lake view, the same—" "I don't use your lake," I'd interrupt, "and my bridge doesn't cross your property." She'd frown every time, as if the universe itself was misbehaving. Then, one morning, I drove up to find yellow caution tape and a backhoe parked by the creek. The bridge was gone. Planks torn up, railings smashed. 2 HOA board members stood there, looking proud. When I demanded to know what they were doing, Cheryl stepped forward like a queen with her court. "This bridge violates our environmental guidelines," she said smoothly. "It's obstructing water flow to the HOA lake. We've removed it as a community safety measure." "You did what?" "It's on shared watershed land. You'll thank us later when flooding stops." I pointed to the stumps where my posts had been. "That bridge was mine." "You just destroyed private property." Cheryl crossed her arms. "If you're going to live next to our community, you'll follow our standards." Then she turned and walked off. That was the moment something inside me went cold. I didn't shout. I didn't threaten. I just looked at the creek, still flowing calm and clear, and thought, if they want control of water, I'll show them what control really looks like. 2 weeks later, I was sitting in the county records office. The clerk looked surprised when I slid the paperwork across the counter. "You're buying the dam?" "Yes," I said. "The Halford Retention Dam. It's listed under the old hydro company's name. They're dissolving." He flipped through the deed transfer request. "It's a bit unusual for a private citizen, but it's not restricted. You'll own the water control rights, maintenance, and liability." "Understood. 3 signatures. 1 cashier's check and a handshake later. I was the official owner of the structure that fed Lake Halford, the very same body of water that made the HOA mansion's lakefront. I drove out there that evening. The dam was old concrete, moss-covered, with rusted gears controlling 2 massive floodgates. A small metal shack held the manual release levers. It hummed with history. Over the next month, I invested quietly. Repaired the gate motors, installed new remote sensors and cameras, registered the property with a new sign, "Private Property, Keaton Waterworks LLC access by permission only." Of course, Cheryl noticed. She showed up again, furious. "What do you think you're doing?" she snapped. "That dam regulates our lake." "Not anymore," I said. "You've been using it rent-free. That ends today. You can't just own the dam. According to the county, I can. And I can also decide water levels based on maintenance and flood control." Her face turned scarlet. "You wouldn't dare interfere with our lake," I smiled. "I won't unless someone keeps damaging my property." Her tone went icy. "You're threatening us?" "No," I said, stepping closer. "I'm promising maintenance. Thorough, lawful, and entirely within my rights." She left shaking with anger. I could almost hear the gears in her head spinning, just like the ones in my dam shack. 2 weeks later, I got the letter I expected. "You are hereby ordered to cease and desist all operations affecting Lake Halford under HOA jurisdiction." Nice try. I sent back copies of the ownership deed, state water rights certification, and a single sticky note that read, "Next time, don't touch my bridge." Then came the rain. Weeks of storms swelled every stream in the county. The HOA panicked about possible overflow, I got a call from the county hydrologist asking if the dam was stable. Stable, I said. But due for maintenance. Might need to relieve pressure soon, he agreed. Do what you need to. Just follow procedure. So I did. At dawn, I drove to the dam and unlocked the shack. With a steady twist of the wheel, the first gate creaked open. The sound was deep, metallic, like the earth exhaling. Water thundered through the channel, gushing downstream. By afternoon, the lake level had dropped 3 feet. From the ridge, I could see HOA residents rushing out to their docks, shouting in confusion. Cheryl's palatial mansion, once perched above glittering water, now sat above a widening ring of mud. She called me, voice shaking with rage. "What are you doing?" "You're destroying our lakefront." "Performing scheduled maintenance," I said calmly. "Safety first, you can't." "According to my water management license, I can." "You'll ruin our property values." Should have thought of that before wrecking my bridge. By evening, half the lake was gone. Boats tilted sideways on the muck. The HOA called emergency meetings, lawyers, and even the local news. When the reporter showed up, I was ready. I handed him the documentation proving I owned the dam, and photos of the destroyed bridge with HOA board members on site. The story hit the evening broadcast. Local HOA faces lawsuit after destroying neighbors. Bridge, he now owns the dam controlling their lake. The internet had a field day. Memes, headlines, even talk shows mentioned the guy who drained his HOA. Within a week, property inspectors ruled the sudden level change had caused foundation damage to 5 of the most expensive mansions. Insurance denied claims, calling it an act of lawful maintenance. Their premiums tripled overnight. Cheryl tried to sue. The judge dismissed it, citing lack of jurisdiction over private water infrastructure. Then came my counterclaim: destruction of private property, trespassing, and damages. I didn't even need to win big. The HOA settled fast, desperate to stop the publicity, enough to rebuild my bridge in steel this time, and install a small wooden sign on its railing: respect flows both ways. Now, when I stand there and watch the creek roll by, I sometimes catch the faint sound of machinery in the distance, the empty pumps of the drained lake that once sparkled beside million-dollar homes. Funny thing about water, it never belongs to the loudest. Just the one who knows where the valve is.